Good day, friends! Happy Saturday to all of you. This is your daily news report and fourth stimulus check update. In this evening's video, I will be going over the new bill that President Biden has just signed into law and how the bill will affect millions of Americans. Many states have finally decided to approve the sending of stimulus checks to people who have been impacted by this crisis. President Joe Biden signed a short-term government funding, avoiding one looming crisis as Congress turns its gaze towards two other issues. Please do make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and watch until the end of this video to learn how to enter my $100 Walmart gift card giveaway.
Thank you, Mr. President. I come to the floor today to talk about the defense bill that is currently before the Senate. And note that the majority leader this morning made some mention and some complaints about substantive, timely, and important amendments that are being offered by my colleagues. He was particularly agitated, it seems, about an amendment dealing with communist China. Well, the United States Senate has a lot of work to do by the end of the year. We need to fund the government. We need to prevent a shutdown. We need to deal with the debt ceiling. Democrats are going to need to lift that. We need to make sure that our troops are funded, and we deal with the defense bill. These are some of the important issues that are before the Senate. Yet here we are near the end of the year scrambling to get it all done in just a couple of weeks. No way to run the United States Senate. We haven't had an appropriation bill brought to the floor all year. And the defense bill has been sitting in limbo for months. The Armed Services Committee actually finished marking up this bill in July. It's a bipartisan bill, passed the vote in the committee by 23-3. Things don't get a lot more bipartisan than that. So typically the Senate starts working on the defense bill and then negotiates over the next couple of months. We start in June, but instead we've gone months and months and months. We've seen the disastrous collapse and fall and withdrawal in Afghanistan, and yet no defense bill to the floor of the United States Senate. So what did the Democrats try to do instead? Well, they pushed a very partisan agenda, brought to the floor two bills.
President Biden's signature prevents a government shutdown hours before an end of Friday deadline. The measure, which the House and Senate passed Thursday, will keep the government running through February 18, 2022. With the threat of a disrupted funding lapse squashed, lawmakers will move to the next steps in a very daunting December to-do list. The Democratic-led Congress will next try to stave off a potential default on United States debt, pass President Biden's $1.75 trillion Build Back Better Act, and also approve an annual defense budget bill. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen expects the United States will hit its debt ceiling on December 15th if lawmakers do not raise or suspend the debt limit. Many Republicans have stated they will not vote to hike the United States borrowing limit, but Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has signaled he may not block Democrats from doing so on their own. So friends, do you think Mitch McConnell should block Democrats from raising the U.S. debt ceiling? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. The GOP has argued Democrats need to raise the debt ceiling alone as they try to pass their sprawling social spending bill without any Republican votes. Janet Yellen has pointed out that Congress would have to increase the limit regardless of what legislation that Democrats pass this year. Raising or suspending the debt ceiling does not authorize new spending. But while Democrats try to diffuse the risk of default, they also aim to push Biden's top domestic priority through the Senate. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer wants to pass a Build Back Better Act, which would invest in childcare, household tax credits, and Medicare by this Christmas. Chuck Schumer awaits word from the Senate parliamentarian about whether the plan complies with the budget reconciliation process that will allow Democrats to pass it on their own. Schumer will also need to win over Democratic Senators Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kristen Sinema of Arizona, who both have not signed off on the bill. The House passed its version of the plan last month. The Senate will likely make several changes, meaning the House would have to vote a second time. The flurry of activity in the Senate does not stop with the sprawling social spending plan. The chamber is also trying to pass the annual National Defense Authorization Act, which sets spending levels for defense programs. So now the legislation has hit a wall in the Senate, amid an impasse over a package of amendments to it. Meanwhile, President Biden's signature on the spending bill only delays the threat of a government shutdown. Democrats will try to craft full-year appropriation bills that can pass both chambers of Congress before funding runs out on February 18, 2022. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack announced a plan to distribute one-time $600 crisis relief payments to U.S. meat packers and farm workers. This aid comes as part of a new $700 million aid program from the United States Department of Agriculture. The grants are intended to hedge some of the costs workers bore, as many brought their own protective equipment or took unpaid leave, as the crisis severely impacted the agriculture industry, even though they were still required to show up for work. Bloomberg adds that the Biden administration plans to distribute the aid as part of the overall agriculture relief program to mostly benefit farm workers, but to also include the low-income food chain workforce. Thousands of meat processing plants were some of the hardest hit during the crisis. Workers in the meat and meat packing industry were considered essential workers during the early days of this crisis. Tom Vilsack stated in a call to reporters that this additional $600 in aid will be a reflection of the essential nature of the work they performed in the crisis. So now the state of Florida has also approved a bill to send $1,000 bonuses to first responders and educators. Georgia, Michigan, and Tennessee put in place bonus programs for its teachers in their states. But in the case of Tennessee, that came at the expense of a pay raise. Friends, the key word for this video is casserole, and the three winners of this week's giveaway are Faith Moore, Orlando Griffin, and Rob Jones. Congratulations to all three of you! Remember, friends, if you would like to enter my Walmart gift card giveaway, all you have to do is click and like my videos. Make sure that you comment below the keyword from each video, and also, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much, friends, and have a very, very blessed weekend.